Hey guys, and welcome back to Simply Electronics. I know it's been a while since I've been here. I've been busy, but not anymore. There's a lot of new things that I cannot wait to talk about. I've learned my lab equipment a little bit better. Upgrades have been made to the stereo, so we can do more audio projects. On the topic of audio projects, I'm coming up with an interesting kind of speaker that I think you might like to see a future video of. In other news, I've got a 3D printer now, so for all of our wonderful ABS, PLA, PETG, polycarbonate, or squishy TPU needs, I have a machine that can do all of that thanks to the brand new Ender 3 V2 that I have now acquired, along with the Sprite Pro extruder, which allows me to print all the flexible filaments all the way from Ninja Flex to polycarbonate, which is not really flexible, but I think you get the point. Let's get started. Hey guys, and welcome back. You're watching Simply Electronics, as you might have guessed, and we're back. So, thanks to some recent news, me being busy, I've been squeezing as much of my spare time as I can into trying to come up with at least something socially acceptable. Something that is acceptable enough to be shown on YouTube and called a new project, because, I don't know. I don't think you want to see me just messing around with lab equipment for fun. I mean, I guess it was fun the first time around, but I guess not anymore. We're going to do a updated version of the oscilloscope video because that got, last time I checked, 1,000 views, and that is absolutely by far the most amount of views that I've gotten ever, anywhere, at all. And I am so thankful to every single person who saw that video and even watched it a little bit of the way through. And I have not had time to check in a really long time, but if you're one of the people that's gone to the channel and you've watched one of my videos or a few of the videos all the way through, special thanks to you. And at the end of this video, there's something I'm going to tell y'all, and I think y'all like it. But it is something I will need a little bit of help on from you, the lovely viewers of YouTube, to get accomplished. So in first news, again, I have a 3D printer now, and I just think that's absolutely great, because with a 3D printer, now I don't have to spend $11 on an ABS box to put my projects in that's literally this big. Like, there are hamburgers that size. It's just small. That's not worth $11, no matter if they've got weather stripping, heat insulation, does not matter. It's just way overpriced. But thanks to my 3D printer, I can slap some ABS on the little spool holder, load it up into the extruder, and get printing. Of course, ABS does extrude some very nasty toxic fumes. They're not exactly toxic. They just smell very badly of ethanol, and you don't want to breathe that. Trust me, you don't. Just don't. So I'm going to be putting that in my garage where the summer heat should keep the print warm enough to not curl up and die. And if that doesn't work, we're going to try some ABS Plus or ABS Pro, which is basically just ABS with additives to make it not curl up and have the layers split, so it's just a little more well-behaved, but it still stinks. So either way, keep it outside. And then for an audio project, the stereo has received some updates for the antennas, because the last one broke. I just had a white 75 ohm antenna that was thumbtacked to the wall. And while that did work for a little bit, the wire started to come out of the little white plug that's down on the back of the stereo, and then the frequencies was just kind of messing up. In addition to that, somewhere along the antenna there was a break in the wire, so I had to tape it in just the right way, or you just didn't get radio signal, because it would try, and then it would fail miserably. So yeah, we got new antennas now, more audio projects on the way. Next piece of actual lab equipment is most likely going to be a signal generator, if I can find one that's reasonably affordable. And otherwise, we're just going to upgrade the absolutely loving daylights out of the Ender 3. And that, I think, is going to be quite fun. I've been making plans to make another updated oscilloscope video, because the last one got 1,000 something views. Again, I have not checked in a while. So, hopefully that'll take off again. And I'm not trying to milk past success. It's just my voice was very, very high-pitched back then. And I know it wasn't too long ago, but, high-pitched voices are just not very good to listen to. And I think that video is worth a lot more than just having 3 minutes of it watched out of the 20 minutes that got put into the video. If I was you, I also would not want to sit through and listen to some kid explain an oscilloscope in a very high-pitched, squeaky voice. So with the next iteration of the video, we're going to try to fix that. And I'll also try to go into more detail about specifically the Siglent SDS1104XE, which is the oscilloscope I have, as well as explaining the basic principle and working operation of my switch mode power supply with the big smoothing caps in it, so that way it's, you know, really nice linear power, and the oscilloscope can prove it. It's very, very nice. I've always had this, I just kind of forgot to show it to you. Let me take the plug out of it. I have a digital microscope. I'm not sure how good this is, if any of y'all can tell me, like, if there's better out there for relatively the same price. This one, I believe, is just a National Geographic one, so it's got to be at least somewhat good. It claims to have a 2 megapixel camera on it and a little LCD screen on the top. I don't know about the camera, but I know there is a screen. And yeah, it takes some pretty good photos, and I don't know if any of y'all have wondered what's on those little RGB LED strip lights. I put one of the individual diodes, I melted it off the strip and put it underneath the microscope. And yeah, there's actually like a lot going on in there, and you know, I don't know, if y'all want photos or something, not really sure how to get that on YouTube, but I'll see if I can make a video about it if that's at all interesting. Maybe just putting some other random stuff underneath the microscope for fun. Yeah, in other news, well, now I've said that twice now. Additionally, the printer's got some interesting things going on with it. As you may know, or maybe you don't, 3D printing is absolutely fantastic, and this is because if it's got a shape, it can be printed some way, somehow. Now, my 3D printer is of course not perfect. There's only so much you can get for $200. And yes, I know that sounds like a lot, but considering the Bambu Labs printers, which are still considered hobbyist printers in a sense, are $1,000 to $2,000, so again, you're getting what you pay for, which really isn't much. It is still a very good printer. I have no real complaints with the printer other than some Z-axis inconsistencies, but that could be down to a cheaper bearing or just something wobbling, something not being tight enough, and that could very well just be my fault. So I will go back and look into that and just make sure that's not something I've done and make sure it's actually something that's wrong with the printer. And if it is, then I'll do my best to fix it. In other, as far as everything else goes, the printer's also been upgraded with Klipper. It's got a Raspberry Pi 4, my only Raspberry Pi 4, that was painful, to run the printing software. So should I need any other kind of thing to do with the Raspberry Pi 4, I'm just going to 3D print one of those little cases to put your SD cards in, which is super nice. You don't have to go anywhere to get most things. You can just 3D print them. So I'll probably make one of those cases to hold the 2 different SD cards, 2 different softwares on it. And I'll have one running the stuff for the Raspberry Pi, and then I'll have the other one outfitted with the Raspbian software, because the PiCraft is something I wanted to mess around with and see if I can Python script my way into getting the TNT to work again, because since I got it, I don't know, half the stuff in the game doesn't work, the rendering distance is terrible, and, you know, the whole point is that it needs work, and you're supposed to be able to Python script your way into making it somewhat playable. So that's going to be something, if that even works. I'm not entirely sure how what you put on the SD card affects the main board and everything, and all the USB drives and everything. I'm pretty sure that's just reflashing everything, and I don't think that's super healthy for a Raspberry Pi computer. So it might just have to live as the computer processor. It might just have to live as my printer's processor. Or I could get a Raspberry Pi Pico, because it doesn't have a webcam, so it doesn't really need much processing power, and I'll run Klipper on that. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, but I mean, that's really all I've got aside from a clock. Hold up, let me show you this. This is neat. You might like this. Can I flip this around? Can. Do not mind this mess. So I've got this clock now. This is just a CRT clock that I got from some guy on eBay. And this is very, very well made. I don't know about this acrylic enclosure. It looks like he made it himself, but at least he tried, and most of the seams fit, even though down there you can see like cracks and stuff where it didn't quite seal right. I don't know, I might ask him about that. But overall, this is not bad. It is not 5:19. It is 6:20 right now, and I don't know what time zone it's trying to find, but that ain't it. So, you know, you just use the buttons down there to set it. I just didn't bother. I just like seeing the tube run. And then you've got the big old toroidal transformer in the back doing whatever it is that it does. And then you can see right there that little light that's blinking with the seconds pulse. So yeah, and then you can see the antennas up on the wall. So there's that. Got the little stereo going. Just an absolute mess. The microscope, roll of wire, my collection of, well, I thought that was my zip ties. Nope, that's some German currency. Thing of paper clips, my oscilloscope, that pile. This is called organized chaos. It's something I need to work on because organized chaos is nonetheless still chaos. So, yeah, definitely something to get worked on. And that is absolutely fine. So, yeah, that's everything that's new with the Simply Electronics YouTube channel. And hopefully and this is the part where I ask you for a little bit of help. And I know, I hate being this guy. But if you wouldn't mind at the end of this video, if you would make sure you are liked and subscribed. And if you did stick around this far into the video, thank you for that. Because my averages on YouTube, most people are watching my videos out of the 20 minutes I put into them for all of about 3 minutes. And I understand that back when my voice was a little bit of a higher pitch, people didn't want to listen to that. Trust me, neither do I. But hopefully now with the lower voice and everything, it should be a lot more pleasant to listen to. And once we hit 500 subscribers, YouTube may consider giving me my comment section back. And so should that not work, I guess I'll try emailing them again. They never really got back to me on that. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's just kind of messed up sometimes. Just for the record, I am 14. There is no reason I shouldn't have my comment section, but if y'all wouldn't mind ringing that bell, subscribing, make sure my channel gets lifted up enough for YouTube to say, hey, look, we forgot about this person, and then I can get my comment section back, customize the URL so that way y'all will be able to find the channel a little bit easier, so should you choose. And also, that's just that one step closer to the 1,000 subscribers. Then after 1,000 comes obviously 2,000, you know. Hopefully we can get that many. It'd be really nice to one day get actually monetized by somebody. Maybe somebody that supplies lab equipment or something, because then we'd actually have something somewhat interesting to use on the channel, and there would be a lot more project opportunities opened up with something as simple as a function generator. So you can run like little coils and stuff to test out the audio projects and everything without hurting like your stereos and everything, because things happen, stuff blows up, and I'd rather that not be my stereo. So I'm gonna see if there's some way I can isolate it. But until then, you know, it'd be nice to have something that doesn't need isolation, that's self-protected, unlike the stereo. So if y'all wouldn't mind doing me that little bit of help, that would be very much appreciated. For those that stayed till the end here, thank you so much for listening to everything that's new with the channel. And I really do appreciate you being here. You're watching Simply Electronics. Have a nice day.